everybody, and welcome to another system video. My name is Viola. I am the host of the Cerebro system. On this channel, we discuss my system, my others/alters, if you want to use the main term that people use. And essentially, we talk about DID and various other topics involving it. Of course, that is not the only mental health thing we talk about here. We've also discussed phobias, anxiety, and a bunch of other things. This is primarily a mental health channel, just pointing that out for the YouTube stuff. Anyway, today's video, I actually wanted to talk about fragments. What they are, and how it has to do with my system, and how it was very eye-opening to me to learn this information. So of course I got my trusty phone because my memory is terrible. I'm very sorry about that. Fragments, okay, these alters are ones who hold a specific emotion or memory. They usually do not hold too great of an effect on the system. Most fragments only hold part of an event. If a system has many fragments, then it is likely that if all these fragments were to integrate, they would reveal the entire event. The part that really stood out to me about this one is they hold on to a specific memory or emotion. Now, this immediately spoke to me about one other line in particular, being joy. True to her name, she is always happy. I've never really heard about her being sad. You know, like, she lives in a frigging cottage surrounded by rainbows and sunshine and green grass. I mean, she is a blonde, bubbly, bright sunshine, ray of sunshine person. You know, honestly, I believe that she very well may be a fragment, and the emotion she holds on to is, of course, happiness. Because when I was growing up, not going too deep in everything, a lot of my happiness was shattered. It was very much taken from me. With the onset of medication, basically dealing with my own brain, dealing with trauma, I had very little happiness for many years, and honestly, it would make a lot of sense for that to essentially, you know, become an other for me, representing that lost joy, that lost, you know, sunshiny personality, that lost happiness. Because honestly, I used to be a very, like, when I was, before the medications I used to be on that were, you know, what I was misdiagnosed with, I was a very open, very happy, very energetic person. Then all of that happened, and it was like all, no pun intended, all joy was sucked out of me. Like, it was just gone. I had nothing. You know, and I believe that starts with trauma. Like, the trauma destroys your happiness. I believe that's where joy comes from, and I do believe she is a fragment. I could be 100% off base, but with the information that I have now, it does make a lot of sense. And on that note, it also would make sense why I don't really remember many things. They mentioned that if you have multiple fragments, which I'm not sure if I do. If I do, this makes a lot of sense. If not, then I'm completely off base here. But they said if you have multiple fragments, if all of them integrate, you would remember an event, essentially. It would basically show the entire event to you. That being said, the only one I know about right now is joy. And I'm going based off of the emotion part, because, like I said, that's who she is. She is that very happy-go-lucky person, and she doesn't really play any other role in my system. It fits way too well. And I think if I had to name another one who I believe is a fragment but I'm not 100% on, it would be one of my newer others, being Nona. Nona, I have nicknamed Rebellion. She's a very punk rocker looking girl. So essentially, I don't really know where she would fit in the system. She just kind of popped up one day. And honestly, it would make sense for her to be one as well. The thing is, I'm not sure if there are any other fragments in my system. It might just be those two. And if they are fragments. I could be 100% wrong, but here's the thing, they never front. They don't have roles that I'm aware of. I've looked at various roles and can't find anything that fits them except this. And honestly, they both represent a very specific sort of feeling, you know, or something involving my past. So, because like with Nona, I feel like given how she is and the fact that when she announces her presence, there's a certain song that pops in my head. You know, at least that's how she announced her presence the first time. I don't know if she does that anymore, but it was a very old song at this point, and it was one I listened to a lot in high school. So, I don't know. Like, this is something I'm going to have to look into more with a therapist. I'm going to have to talk to them heavily about this, but this is all the info that I've got. You know, I don't have, since I moved to Arizona, I don't have a therapist to talk to about this, and it does bother me. But whenever I move again, I will be getting a therapist to discuss this further. But anyway, I figured this was a fun, sort of shorter video, even despite my rambling, to kind of talk about, to kind of inform people about what a fragment is, and at least in the short, you know, description that we got, and explain how it affects me. You know, I've already talked about, like, dead altars and everything, but this right here throws me off, because it's such a huge, like, leap from, this is this other specific role, and then we have these ones who don't do anything, and they're just there, you know, because they have to be, and it just shows you how deep DID goes. And I'm excited to learn more, because honestly, this here, this YouTube stuff, this is a learning experience not only for you guys, but for me. I'm learning while doing this, because I've only recently discovered this, I think within the past year. So, honestly, me learning about this as I go is very fun. And I'm excited to share this journey with you guys while I do this. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by. Always do. If you like what I do here, like, comment, subscribe, all that good kind of stuff. It really helps me out a lot, especially with this algorithm stuff. It is a mess. Remember, you're beautiful, you're valid, and you're important. That's very, very, very important to me and everyone up here. And I will see you in the next video that I make. So until then, goodbye.